The Cedo is absolutely amazing, to be fair. You have to, of course, come and see Father to pick this thing up. And it's the alt fire mode of this that kind of... the top shoots out something. You can see the top opens up and this thing shoots out. Yeah, it throws what looks like something from an older weapon, the mitre, and it bounces around, leaving explosions everywhere. And it is actually a very powerful little secondary. Secondary fire mode, that is. Alternate fire mode, not secondary weapon. And this thing is obtainable from Father. The problem is it's from orphix venom. It also drops from inside of there, which I can't make any sense of because, oh no, there it is. I've dropped 2 stocks. Just 2. Kind of annoying, but the parts do actually drop there. So do Lavos's. Quite a lot, and that alternate helmet drops like crazy during this event. But you need to pick up the stock, the receiver, and the barrel, or you can just play the event. It's not on for much longer, and then you can pick up the blueprint if you need to. As I say, these parts drop during the actual event, so you could always have a chance of dropping them in there if you want to farm it. You have to go there to get the points to do it anyway, so here's hoping that... I was really hoping that was going to be tradable. You get the parts to drop, so you don't have to buy them. Or it would seem that parts are also tradable, which I did... Game freeze? Not expect to see. At least the blueprint is tradable. Anyway, the Cedo, I am absolutely loving this thing. You can see on the top where those discs are held. The alternate fire mode kind of opens it, shoots them out, they explode, set enemies on fire. They track the enemies down, and it looks very visual appealing. And I've been using this thing for the whole operation. Got an amazing build on this, if I'm honest. I mean, fire rate, it doesn't need to be on there. But building this thing towards crit, because status is completely pointless on this. It has a 0.3% per projectile damage. And you have to remember this damage number's per projectile. So that's 4,000 damage per projectile because it's a shotgun. Which means obviously you're going to want the crit mod in here. Primed Ravage if you have it. Also now realizing that's not maxed, so this can actually be better. How did I not notice that? Primed Point Blank, no brainer, that has to go in there with multi-shot, Hell's Chamber and Vigilant Armaments. Blunderbuss is in there to increase the crit chance. That is of course the crit damage, not the crit chance. Blunderbuss is the crit chance. Chilling Grasp, that's in there for cold damage to give this thing viral. As I say, that's completely useless, but it's this that kind of made the thing amazing. And like all Rivens, I don't get to keep this. So if we come back to Father here and just fire it off in this direction, really? That instantly hit the wall on the other side. So now I'm going to have to try and chase that down. No, not happening. Somebody else may want to kind of clarify this one, but I'm counting 15 holes in the wall here. Why is it holes in the wall? Because I cannot catch the rounds. I've been trying, but as soon as you fire this thing... come on. Hi. I'm just going to continue doing this. It's kind of like the heck in a sense. You will notice this thing is shooting away at the side. There's no projectiles. You can see it hitting off in the distance. If I run over here while he's reloading, you can see it kind of fireworking off in the distance. I'm not going to be able to go out there. But there's no actual projectiles crossing my path. That is a bit of a shame for this thing, because I would love to have had an accurate count on that. But just kind of shoot the wall once and go, yeah, that's a lot. So even if we underestimate this, it was 15 before, I'm not counting it again, that's 15 times 4,000 damage. Yeah, this thing actually does a lot of damage. For something that only has 40 magazine in it, it goes forever as well. So it deals in a lot of damage. It's full auto. It has that alternate fire mode that basically sets enemies on fire and just... it doesn't annihilate them. I will admit, I wish that alternate fire mode did a lot more damage. It doesn't though, which is fine, because it kind of stuns them long enough that you can jump in there with the normal fire mode and take them out. This thing, it may be behind an event. It may be pretty hard to get a hold of once that event has gone. I think that's why it has a little tradable symbol there on the blueprint, so you can trade it. But this thing, it's actually a pretty decent, it's a good shotgun. I really want to call it a decent shotgun, which it is. I am thoroughly enjoying this. It's taking out level 100 enemies fairly easy if you land those crit shots and those headshots. But like everybody else, in the back of my head, something is just screaming at me. All this is a boar prime with a little less damage. Because if you look at the total damage per projectile of the boar prime, it's 320. This is 180. This does have less crit, more crit, sorry, but it has no status. All in all, it's a great attempt at replicating the boar prime, but I think, hands down, it's the secondary that saves this thing. If it wasn't for the secondary, the boar would still be a better shotgun, which is exactly what it is. It does more damage. It has status to it, so you can put elemental combos on here to strip armor or health or whatever you happen to be going up against. It has more multi-shot, which means more projectiles, by the way. It has a quicker fire rate as standard. It just doesn't have the crit that the Cedo has, but it's the alternate fire mode, being able to shoot those discs out to set the enemies on fire, to strip their shields, which is pretty much what I used it for against the Corpus for ages, until for some reason during this event it keeps swapping back to a Grineer. It works against the Grineer. I kind of liked it more against the Corpus, if I'm being honest, but the fact that it reminded me so much of the boar, but slower fire rate, which is exactly what this thing is. Once that clicked in my head, I'm not going to say fell out of love with this thing. It has a much longer distance. The fall off on it is 26 to 52. The fall off on the Cedo starts where the boar prime ends, because the boar prime fall off is 18 to 25. Fall off being effective range, shall we say. With all shotguns, the closer you are to an enemy, the closer the grouping of the rounds, the projectiles are, the more damage it will do. The fact that this has a fairly long fall off, and that alternate fire mode, oh yes, this is definitely, it's a boar prime, but better. The primary fire mode, I still think the boar kind of beats it, but for range, that alternate fire mode, that just the fact it looks better, which it does, and the fact that you're not constantly running out of ammo, because the boar prime also only has 20 magazine, this has 40 that you can increase. Luckily, I think that's the mod I had in there, ammo stock, and that took it to 64 if I'm remembering rightly. Magazine capacity works wonders with that whole fire rate mod in there. Oh, I absolutely love this thing, just way too much. There are so many other weapons that I need to go back and actually finish putting builds on. And, well, I say putting builds on, I keep building them for Rivens, then giving the Rivens back, and then when I go to use the weapons, they all suck because they've got 3 or 4 empty mod slots in them. I've got to stop doing that. I really do. But for now, I think we'll leave this off here. I'm going to go play with this gun some more. It is tons of fun. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.